What is up, everybody? This is Recap and Rewind. I'm JLAG and I'm here with
NB.
And this episode is reviewing and recapping Riverdale Season 2, Episode
15,
Chapter 28. There will be blood.
And don't forget, guys, stick around for the end of the podcast because we're going to go through our recap roundups. So our best moments, our best lines, MVPs, LVPs. So make sure you stick around for that. And make sure you stick around for the end as well because we're going to be talking about our PopSocket giveaway.
Details.
How to enter. What question you got to answer. So stick around for that. And also, guys, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at recap_rewind because all the details to this PopSocket giveaway will be also added on our Twitter.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's get into it.
And as always, to our continuing listeners and our brand new ones, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and enjoy the podcast.
Girl,
what did you think?
Bye, hi,
hello.
It was good,
oh
though.
my God.
I don't know.
I don't know. That was crazy.
Okay, what did you think? Like,
what a crazy ass episode.
It was crazy ass is the perfect term for this episode. Crazy ass. Because I was sort of left off with like, I don't know if I liked it, but I feel like it was so crazy that like I kind of did like it.
Okay, here's the thing, and I wrote it down in my notes like 3 times in the beginning of the episode. I wrote down, did I miss an episode?
Why though?
Because so there's 2 major moments that happen in the beginning of the episode, and I'm like, yo, where did this storyline even start, and how is it starting now? So we can talk about it while we're getting through the episode, but I felt this episode almost was like inserted to carry the major storyline through, but it didn't feel connected really to what was happening in the past couple weeks.
You're right. And I guess because coming off of last week's episode where like it was such a retreat, like literally they went to honor a retreat.
Yeah, exactly.
This one was sort of like back in the town. There's so much going on.
Right.
This whole Blossom like estate thing kind of came out of left field, really. I honestly wish they had mentioned it like from before. Like Penelope could have been like, I'm still waiting on your dad's secret will or something. Like some sort of inkling where like this was coming because like it felt very random and very cheaply placed. I'm sorry.
That wasn't even the one storyline that confused me.
Let's not. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Seriously. Yeah. I was like, yo,
if
what?
I'm going to talk about cheap storylines, it's going to come later.
Oh, girl. All right, let's get into the episode. So we start off with Jughead at his trailer. Yeah. And he's going crazy. He's going full
so
out Claire Danes and Homeland season 1, just putting up a map.
She wasn't a writer though. You have to find like a crazy writer character.
But she's trying to like put up all like the connections, trying to figure out what's going on. And so he's like, Hiram's been making money moves like Cardi, and it's just like he's like, what's going on? I don't understand. And his map just looks insane. So FB comes through, like he's been working all day,
oily.
And he's like he's oily for the fryer, and he's just like, what the hell is going on up in here? And he's like, Dad, look at this. Like, this is crazy. Like, Hiram is coming for everybody, coming for Riverdale.
He's just so... What did you think about Jughead in that moment? Like, yes, he's been annoying this whole season, except for last week. But I just feel like he's so dramatic. And, like, fine, Hiram's buying properties. Like, okay, that's his job. Like, he literally has an enterprise. Like, that's his job to buy property.
That's what he wants to do.
Why is it so shady? Like, why is it...
You know what? I was talking real talk with somebody last night about this. And I was like, but why is it such a big deal?
Yeah.
I'm like, he's just doing what he's got to do to like snatch up shitty properties. Like I would do the same thing.
He's like,
what's the big deal?
He's trying to justify. He's trying to understand. And I'm like, but he's a businessman. He's going to do this.
Right.
Why are you sketching the F out? And like, he's sketching out.
Right.
Like he looks like he's losing hair over this.
I think the concern is it's the game of Monopoly, right?
Right.
At the end of Monopoly, you're not supposed to be the only owner because like everybody loses and like you can't control everything. You're not allowed to control every branch of your whole entire town.
I mean,
you
can.
I mean, yeah.
You win the game.
If you win the game, right? But like, I think the idea is like you should have like a democratic like whatever. But like, here's my thing: if Riverdale doesn't have anybody who can like step up to Hiram's like money, then what you gonna do?
And also like, a good point. Like, and I think that if Riverdale is failing, which it is, we know that it is. Right. It's been like sketching out from time. Like maybe it needs someone to come and like buy the land and like rejuvenate the city.
Wow, I think I know who you're voting for.
No. Let's not get it twisted though. This is just a show.
Okay. Anyway, let's so that happens, and FP's just kind of sitting there being like, yeah, I guess that's crazy or whatever.
Like he's just like, I worked 10-hour shift, like I'm oily, like I'm gonna go shower.
Sleep. Yeah.
Do we even have a shower?
So then it cuts to the Pembroke, and this part was really cute. So they're having dinner. Archie Andrews is having dinner with the Lodges, and they're like, and Fred,
and they're like kicking it back to old times, which confused me at first because I was like, wait, like I didn't know they were boys. Like I thought they were like enemies because they were fighting over the same girl.
Right.
No?
I mean, I guess they were all part of the same world. So even if they weren't boys, he was like telling the story. Like he was explaining it to the kids, saying like, oh yeah, we like broke in.
Yeah, like we went swimming and stuff. It was sick.
Do you remember that moment where like Hermione was like, no, that wasn't me. Yeah, that was Alice.
I think Fred was like, what about that time you stole that car? Yeah. And Emma's like, no, that was Alice. I'm like, oh, were they like friends too?
I'm like, #flashback episode.
Yes, I'm dying for that.
And it was funny because like then it cuts to like Fred's face, and he's like, I'm pretty sure it was you. Like there's like a really quick shot of him being like, no, I think it was you. And then of course Veronica has her classic line, oh my god, this sounds like an episode of Saved by the Bell. Girl, you're 16 years old. You don't know what Saved by the Bell is.
But actually, finally, I was like, okay, at least her one reference like makes sense. It felt like it made sense. Okay. Finally, she wasn't referencing the 1940s. It was like the 1990s. It was like closer.
Fair enough. And then the end of the dinner, Hiram's like, hey, come try this rum in my office. Okay,
so just quick right before that though, did you notice the way Hermione looked at Hiram?
No.
Because right before Hiram's like, come like sip my rum with me,
right,
Hermione gives him like the like thingest look. She's like, ask him now almost. Like she's running the shots, eh? Like it's not him. It's her, 100. Right. The way she like looks at him, and then he snaps back into reality. He's like, hey Fred, come like sip my rum with me. Right. I was like, wow, she's calling the shots.
Interesting. So then they go to the study, and it wasn't awkward at all. Like, of course it was awkward. It was just like the kids were like, he's like, stay here. Yeah. They're like, Veronica, stay here with Archie.
She's like, Veronica, you're gonna wait with Archie, right? Yeah, mom, that's my boyfriend, obviously. Like, I'm not gonna dip. Where am I gonna go?
Like, Archie, you stay here. So then it cuts to Betty and Kevin at the register.
Right.
This is the part of the episode where I wrote down, did I miss an episode? Because I didn't know they were literally sleuthing this whole entire time.
She's already on that sleuthing tip?
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, I know that was introduced in, like, that first episode where he found out that he was a cam boy. But we haven't been there from time. But we haven't been there from time, and then I didn't know that Kevin was still talking to him.
Oh, true.
You know what I mean? Because he was like, oh, yeah, this is, like, our fourth time talking to each other, or third time talking to each other. So, anyway... So essentially they're at like school at nighttime. Like, I don't know why you guys are hanging out at school and not in like Betty's room, but like the laptop is facing Kevin, and she's basically forcing him with these like cute little like puppy dog eyes to like talk to Chic and ask him questions to like get to know him a little bit better. So like Kevin like reluctantly does it, but he ends up like asking like, what do you want, like all these things, and like and getting him to a point where
Chic
like
is responding too. Chic is responding, and he's like trying to be all flirty with like the flower bed she's in the background. I'm like, this is so weird that he's sitting in Polly's bed and he's like like online.
They made it so obvious that it was like he was in
his
Polly's
pillowcase is like pink flowers.
I know. So then Kevin just like kind of talks to him. Yeah. And that's the end of that scene. Yeah. But that was when I was like, did I miss that? Did I miss something?
So I know you've had this thing with Kevin all season where you're like, you kind of want him to fulfill this like bigger role.
Yes.
Does this do that for you, or do you feel even more like, okay, he's such a like assistant?
I mean, the way that it all kind of unfolds and ends, I'm just like, yeah, but like, what was the purpose? Yeah. Just because you're gay and having a gay chat with somebody, like what?
Does this make Chic gay?
I don't think it's not necessarily. No, not necessarily.
Because is Chic trying to meet up with him right now, or like they're just flirting online?
Good point.
Right?
That's like, a good question. I don't know if he's
is this what Chic does to like lure people in?
Like, yeah, is Kevin like paying with a MasterCard?
Right.
Every, like,
how is this transaction happening? I want to know these questions.
Or is it even a transaction at all?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it sexual? Who knows? Is it going to become, like, to your point, is Chic going to become Kevin's boyfriend? Is that going to be like the storyline?
Maybe.
Interesting. I never thought about that. So then it cuts to Veronica and Archie, and she basically tells him like high key, like in her bedroom, right? Like,
oh my god, Veronica.
She's like, listen, Linda, too much. They're talking and having like 12-year-old rum, but also it's just because
30-year-old rum. Okay, Hiram does not serve below 20 years.
So then she was like, listen, they're gonna like pitch him for mayor, basically. And she's like, duh, that's like the plan. And that's the part that I wrote down. Once again, did I miss an episode? Like she says it.
You're totally
she literally
right.
says it as if it's like, oh,
it's
like
been
he should know.
Like it's been in the plans.
Like
but no.
we make fun of Archie all the time being such a dodo, but like how would he have known that?
I have to say,
I didn't know that.
No.
Like how would I have known
we
that?
saw the pictures from like weeks ago that like there could be this storyline.
Yeah.
But in terms of like how it's been kind of leading up to this, definitely no.
No.
Definitely
yeah,
no.
There was no
like
inkling.
the last time I saw Fred and Hermione even talking at a dinner table was like with Mayor McCoy, like back in I don't know what episode, right? Like that was a long time ago.
I mean, I guess the idea was that there was going to be an election coming, but like we dropped that storyline for like 3 weeks, so it's kind of just
Veronica said something interesting here because she's like, come on, Archie. She's like, business and politics, they go hand in hand. And I'm like, no, they don't, because look at Trump right now.
Oh, God.
Okay, they don't. So who wrote that line?
Drama. So then it cuts to Archie and Fred driving home. And Archie's like, yo, but like, are you okay with this situation right now? And Fred's like, listen, I thought about it, and I think it would be really good. And like, obviously, Archie's just worried about like Hiram taking advantage of his dad, which like he did with Mayor McCoy. But also, he's basically just watching out for his dad, and his dad's like, no, I think I still want to do it for Riverdale because I feel like we have some time.
He's very passionate. Like, he's like, Riverdale needs me. Like, I've been here forever, and I'm the best person to do this.
Exactly. So then Archie's still like sketching out. It's like, oh, I don't know. I'm not going to believe my dad. I think I'm going to do something about it.
I have to say, Archie in this episode really impressed me. He was like really smart.
He was trying.
He was being smart.
I mean, he's still being smarter. Yeah. Then it cuts to the Blossom Res, and we get this like old man. It was funny the way it was introduced. Like Penelope or Cheryl was like, hey mom, hey man I've never met before, because I'm like, he could be like a trick at this point.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
So she just like walks in like not even knowing, and basically he's the guy who has the secret estate will from Clifford Blossom. And so there's going to be a public hearing. So that's what happens in that episode, or in that scene. Then it cuts to the Cooper residence, and Hal right off the top.
Right at the start of the episode.
Yo, I want a divorce, bitch. And
so Alice knows about Penelope.
Yes. So I guess.
And so she's like, is this about Penelope?
Yeah.
And he's like, no. Like, I'm done with that bitch. Like, it's over.
Are you still seeing her? Yeah.
I don't believe him.
It's mostly just Chic. He's like, so we're still not. So he's like, I can't believe I loved you and adored you all these years, and you just like shafted me for this kid.
And honestly, blah, blah, blah. Everything he's saying is pretty like accurate at this point.
It's true, but are we still not talking about the fact that Chic is definitely not Hal's kid? Are we still not going to talk about this?
Oh my God, how did that never come up?
It only comes up at the very end, and it's only because of Betty sleeping.
And that has nothing to do with Hal even.
Has nothing to do with Hal.
Oh my God, why does it ever come up?
That's what I'm trying to say, and it really makes me angry. So I think
Hal thinks that that's his kid at this point. Because I'll tell you why. Because when the blood thing happens later, Hal's like, Chic can get money too.
That's what I'm saying.
So Hal definitely thinks that that's his kid.
That is what I'm saying. God. So you're telling me this entire time,
Sash, that's your kid though.
Like, why are you treating him like total shit?
Oh man.
Like that was the part that's part where I was like really confused. And by the time you're right, because like Chic was like, oh yeah, you're part of the Willis estate or whatever. Yeah. I'm like, but wait, what? That's so
Hal at this point definitely assumes that Chic is his son.
Yeah.
And treats him like shit.
Treats him like garbage. Okay. And he wants to leave because he hates his estranged son.
And if you guys remembered, Hal is incessant on saying, I want a divorce, like ASAP Rocky. Yeah. Today I want it signed. And Alice is like, okay, but like, why do you want it like so like fast?
Like right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, he's up to something for sure.
Right. So he's like, he said,
want that money.
He said I sold the Riverdale Register.
Alice was like, I should have left you right then.
Yeah. And essentially he's like, I'll give you half the proceeds if you like dip.
Yeah. If you like divorce me, I'll give you half of the cut.
And like we're getting closer and closer to Phallus 2018.
Yeah, totally. Like already I could see like Alice's eyes were like, where's FP right now? I need to go see him. I need to message him. What time should I see him at? What should I wear?
So but that's pretty extreme. Like getting a divorce,
it's
a
extreme.
Riverdale family,
and
like
the way
breaking that shit off.
The way they put it on the table, I was like, whoa, this is happening like right now. Yeah. Like holy, and poor Betty's like sitting there the whole time. Like she's like witnessing her parents like get a divorce basically. Situation.
This is like
how is this girl not more messed up? I don't know.
I mean, she's pretty messed up. Let's be real. Then it cuts to the Pembroke again, and basically Hiram and Hermione say, listen, Mija, we need you to get into Archie's ear and persuade him to persuade his dad to become mayor.
Right.
And Veronica's like, okay.
Yeah, at that point she says okay.
That's the end.
Yeah.
Then it cuts to Jughead and Archie, and Archie basically like lays it all down like right off the top. He's like, I don't want him to be mayor. I think it's really sketchy. I need some help, but
I can't do it because like Veronica's my girl, so like I don't want to get involved at this point.
Associated,
but I will give you information,
right,
so that you can publicize and like make public,
right,
and bring down.
So
Hiram.
he finds out. So he ends up telling Jughead that.
Sorry, not bring down Hiram, but influence Fred to not run for mayor, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Like this is all just to like not.
Yeah, to sway Fred.
But legit, he's been playing with fire this whole time. Like I don't know how he just realized that like this can't be a situation. So he's like. So he tells him about Pop Steiner. So when he found out about Pop Steiner being acquired by Hiram, he tells this to Jughead right now, and like Jughead's head explodes even more if it couldn't get even more.
He's expanding. I'm like, well, yeah, you just said it to your dad before.
He's like a vampire snatching up territory. And I'm like, what? Like, and sucking the blood of Riverdale. I was like, okay, that was the weirdest analogy.
Is that what he says? Because then Archie says it after
then
too.
Then he says like a Dracula.
Oh my god.
Like this was vampire, and then the other one was like a Dracula reference. And I was like, which one was the cooler one? The Dracula one.
And why I was like, how comparing him to a vampire?
Yeah, because I don't know. For maybe obvious reasons. So then it cuts to Veronica calling Archie, and she was like, hey boo, I'm here to persuade you to get your dad to run for mayor. And he's like, I can't talk right now.
What did you think about Veronica in this episode?
She was real, like, if we thought she was annoying last episode, she like just went higher key.
She's just getting more like unlikable, I feel like.
Yeah, she really is. And I think that's the thing. I think we said it from like even last season when we knew that Hiram was going to be coming back. She's going to turn back into that like New York City girl, you know, family girl. She's a lodge now. She's like really being like a lodge loyal. So that's what it's all about. Lodge. I don't know. House Lodge is coming through real hard. And so then he hangs up on her because he's glitching out.
He literally says, he's like, chill the F out. Like, I don't want to talk about this right now. Bye.
Yeah.
And it's like the first time where I'm like, oh my God. Like he's like.
And she's like, oh my God. I can't believe he. No, she doesn't.
No, it doesn't come back.
She's like, whatever. Then it cuts to the Cooper residence and the babies are here.
Oh my God. Do you remember their names?
Dagwood and something.
Because they don't say them till like the end of the episode.
And she says it really fast.
And I was
she was
did the
embarrassed.
writers forget even what they named the twins? Because like I don't even hear the names anymore.
Or she like gives them like nicknames.
Yeah, she's like Daggy and Ginger. Like I'm like, what? Like, did you forget your kids' names?
I don't think it was even that. No. I don't remember that.
But like they whispered it, and I was like, okay, thank you for reminding us.
The babies are here.
They're here.
Polly's back, and she's
come to town just in the nick of time. Oh, your farm was a luxury, eh?
Oh, because that will be looking real good right about now. Girl.
That cult didn't sound so good after all, eh?
So essentially, Polly's like, I'm here for the will reading.
Yeah.
Like essentially.
She was like, oh, she's like, Mom, she's like, where's Dad? And she's like, I don't know,
she's
somewhere.
Like, are we all going to the will reading together?
Will reading? And Elsie's like, bitch, what?
Yeah, she basically was like, bitch, what?
Like, OMG, how you are going down. Like, do not mess with Alice. Like, doesn't he know at this point that she's gonna find everything out?
Yeah, like legit. Like Polly's coming home.
Like your daughter's coming to go with you to the estate, like reading. Like you're an idiot.
Oh my God.
You are really dumb.
You are really dumb. So then it cuts to the Blossom res, and Choni is alive and well. I can't even call it Choni yet, really.
Yeah, not yet.
But they're growing. They're
like
growing. So she shows up. Tony shows up.
They're like in their bedroom, right?
And in Cheryl's bedroom, and she's like, "What? You don't like what I'm wearing right now?" And I'm like, "Yo, you are no."
She calls it something, and I don't think I got what she was like. Flannel is like not pleek or something like that. She was wearing flannel, Tony.
Oh right. She's like, so then she like basically is trying to give her a shirt. And her mom like basically kicks the door down. She's like, "What are you doing?" And that's it, right? I think that's it. No? And then she they say
Penelope walks in.
Oh, well, she's like gonna be here for like my like emotional like well-being.
Yeah, my support.
And that's it.
And then like when she leaves, Tony's like, God, she's like really, really. Like,
she's really
wretched.
gross.
And then Cheryl's like, I know.
But okay, we can talk about Penelope later. But really disgusting.
She's just really extra mean at this point. Like I feel like every single line that they write for her is just like
disgusting.
Like savage.
Like nobody
like
talks
at this point
like
she
that.
should just die.
Nobody talks like that. No one talks like that for real.
It's so blatantly like mean.
Like she's just an evil person at this point. Like literally, like what
like
is
it's almost comedic now as her character because it's just like nobody really talks like that. Like Hal, Alice, they're all mean, but like they choose when they're, you know.
But it's almost not comical at all to me. I'm like, that's just a cruel woman.
I don't know. It's just like
why
overdone
do I need to
now.
see her?
At first it was funny, and I'm like, now I'm like, okay, but like be nice for a second.
Like legit, if there's gonna be another major murder, like
Penelope. It'll be her.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to the Andrews res, and Fred's like, oh boy, I'm gonna pull out my old dad's. Was it a map? Like, was it a map or something?
It was like a poster that he made. It looked like a Jetsons or something.
Yeah.
He's like, Archie, look what I did like in high school. It was like 2020.
2020. So then Veronica just like doesn't even
like
knock. She just like storms in, and she comes in with designs for Fred's campaign.
Yeah.
And she's just a designer now.
Yeah, she uses Adobe Creative Cloud. She's on that.
And so she's like excited or whatever, and then Fred like chooses a button or whatever, and she's like, okay, sweet, I'm gonna order it now. And then like Archie takes her aside and is like basically like, ease off, like relax, like my dad, why are you pushing him into this? Why is this such a big deal? And he's like, I feel like, he says something interesting because he's like, I feel like you're steering me like you're steering my dad, and this is not cool. Right.
And I was like, Archie, you are standing up for yourself. And he's booking all of this. So that's what I mean. Like, I feel like he did get a bit smarter this episode because he's learning all of the little clues. And then, I guess he is learning from Hiram Lodge too. True.
And then we cut to the will reading.
Yeah.
The big will reading. So who gets what? Penelope gets Thorncliffe.
So the Nana gets... So I don't know what house they're living in now, but Nana, I think, gets the house that they're in now.
Right.
And she was like, yes. And then I think like Penelope tries to hold her hand, and then Nana's like, no, like get the F out of here.
Yeah.
And then Thorncliffe or Thornhill.
Thornhill goes to Penelope.
But that's the house that was burnt down.
Yeah. And then Cheryl says something like, oh, like a burnt husk of a house.
Yeah. Like, she's like, oh, isn't that the house that was charred to a crisp and burnt to the ground? Because she has to say it for like the viewers who didn't watch last season.
Last season. Yeah, that's true. And so then the best part of the entire episode probably.
No, and then he's like, the rest of the estate.
Oh yeah.
Is split between like basically Riverdale, anyone in Riverdale
who can prove that they have Blossom blood.
Yeah. Sorry, was that the second part?
No.
The first part was Cheryl's part.
No, the first part was the Blossom blood, and then we like cut to commercial after.
Okay. So
the first one was him saying everyone who has Blossom blood like gets a little slice of the will.
But at this point, and then when does Cheryl get up there? She was just so extra, by the way.
She gets up after because this is the part where Alice basically kicks the door down.
Right.
So as soon as he says that, Alice is like, holla, 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 holla.
Yeah.
She basically like, cause Hal's in the back seat and he's like right there.
What a loser.
I feel like she was gonna kick him off his chair. I was dying of laughter because she was like, you son of a bitch. I can't believe you came here and you thought that you can cut me out of this will reading. I know your games. I'm here with my lawyer, McCoy.
Yeah. And McCoy's like, no. She's like, no. She's like, oh, okay, I'm involved now.
There in the corner, she's like, that's my new job now. So I guess they're trying to make her relevant now. Sierra's now a lawyer. And essentially Alice is just like coming for everybody. She calls everybody an inbred. She's like, everybody here is inbred and disgusting,
including my children. I'm like, girl, no, she doesn't say that.
Oh my god, it was so funny. At one point in time, Penelope stands up and she's like, get on my face.
Their dynamic kills me. Like I don't know what it is between the two of them. Like I guess because they're two powerhouses.
Yeah.
Whereas like Sierra and Hermione are more like kind of low key sneaky.
I think she just hates her.
They just hate her,
and
they're just
right
like
off
in
the
each
top
other's
hates
face.
her so
and
much.
it reminds me of our phone lyrics, and I die every time. Like I can't.
Like legit, she's like, shut up, Penelope. I have the real quote.
You are literally a whore. A grandma whore.
Oh man, it was so funny.
Okay.
And then so then that scene cuts, and then it cuts to Jughead talking to Pop.
Yeah.
And Pop basically says like, listen, yeah, he bought the place, but my mom always wanted us to like
own it, and now I don't.
And now I don't. But she's still alive, and I don't want to like break her heart.
Yeah,
So like,
so
please
don't
don't
say
run the
anything,
story.
yeah.
So Jughead's like, okay. Then it goes back to the will,
right?
And they're like, now that we've removed like the disturbance,
the crazy lady in the back,
and like I don't know if like Hal's gone at this point, but like he like disappears.
Yeah, I wanted to know if he was still there.
He like evaporated from the rest of the sequence.
Loser.
So that he's like, okay, we're gonna continue, and he says the other half will be going to my true heirs, Jason and Cheryl Blossom. Right. And
like he doesn't even talk about Jason. He's not even like R.I.P. Jason. He's just like Jason and Cheryl.
Yeah.
And then Cheryl starts walking up. I'm like, okay, but he's dead. Can someone say that again?
Like he's no longer alive. And Penelope's face is crusty AF the entire time. She's like, motherfucker, that's how I'm made.
Well, you got the house, girl.
Yeah. So then she like, so Cheryl like stands up and she's like, can you like move a little bit? Like, she's like, I am here to talk. So she basically says some like really cool stuff, and she was like, listen, enough is enough. I'm like, we come from like a lot of like rich blood or whatever, but I have a new like native girlfriend, so like things are gonna be
she
different.
Doesn't say that. She's just like, I don't want any more bloodshed.
I legit felt like it was gonna get to that point though. I was like, yo, like maybe she'll start talking about like the fact that like they don't like that she's gonna make changes or something.
Maybe,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe she will. So anyway.
She's just like, I don't want to fight anymore.
I don't want to. She says, there's no more bloodshed.
Yeah.
Basically. And then someone was like, it can't be truer than myself. Yo, I was gagged.
When you heard the voice, did you know it was him?
I knew it was him, but then I'm like, but that's not possible.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, but it is him. And then I'm like, what? My brain exploded.
So shocked / disgusted, I have to say. Because shit. I was just like, what are we gonna do this, guys? Let me just put my phone down right now. Season 2 of Riverdale, you guys are gonna introduce a fake twin storyline to me? Really? This is what the show's come to? This is like for like soap operas, guys. Come on.
That's so funny. That's the first one I wrote down. I was like, it's not a CW show until there's a twin storyline.
Like, if you want to talk PLL, this is so PLL. Like, but PLL did that in like the 8th season, and you guys are doing it in the 2nd. I was not okay with this. I was like, this. But
were you not gagged?
Yeah, like, of course. I'm like, what the hell? Like,
I was like, what?
He's back?
I was like, die.
He's back?
Yeah.
He never died.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly wish that was a storyline, to be honest.
That would have been crazy.
Like, I wish he faked his own death, and that would have made more sense to me. Do you know what I mean?
I agree. But yeah, that was so crazy. So essentially,
and even like Cheryl,
she faints.
Has her most dramatic faint scene ever.
But legit, I would have fainted too. Like, hello, my dad just like walked in.
Can you imagine? And he's not wearing a wig.
Yeah. So essentially, this guy walks in. We don't really know until the commercial break, but essentially he says, I am Clifford's twin.
Yeah.
And this is after she wakes up from fainting. Everybody's gone from the Will Estate like storyline. And he tells his story. And his story is essentially like, I was his twin brother. What's his name again? Claudius, yes.
Like, okay, chill.
Okay, relax. And he was like hunting with Clifford like early when they were younger and teens, and he like pointed a rifle at him and basically said like, at some point in time you're gonna turn your back on me, and then he like ran away.
Yeah.
And he never
so essentially
returned.
Clifford like threatened his life. And
he's like, okay, so then he like became like a Navy SEAL or something. I don't know. He like jumped
and then
on
Anna's like, I missed you so much.
Yeah. She was like, I thought you would die and I couldn't even say your name.
Does he explain like why he comes back at this point?
No,
like, does he say like, I heard about the will, so I came through?
No,
because that's pretty shady in my opinion.
I mean, obviously it's shady, but at the time of the end of the episode, like, yeah, it is definitely shady. I don't know why anybody's not booking it.
Right?
Like, where are you coming out of nowhere? You came through the Will Estate.
Like, you weren't even in the crowd. You had to come through the doors when Cheryl's talking.
And was this like an international like expose, like that they're gonna read this will? Like what was the situation that made it seem like the entire world needs to hear that you had to come from like the middle of bumfuck nowhere back into Riverdale?
Yeah.
No, you got a phone call for sure. So then it cuts to the Cooperez and damn, Polly. You just
Polly,
came through for the money?
She came through for the money.
Wow.
So heavy. She's like,
Rubbish.
yeah, she's thirsty. She's a single mom. What is she gonna do? She needs the money.
But that was like ridiculous. She had the most lines this episode that she's ever had.
Yeah. And then now she's gone again.
Yeah. she's like
a mirage. It's like, was she really there? Like, I feel like she was there, and then she's like gone again. You're like, wait, what? And then I saw her tweet, like the actress's tweet this morning. I'm like, oh yeah, she was in the episode. Right. But now she's gone again.
Unfollow. So essentially, she says like, yeah, I just want that shmoney. When can we like do these blood tests? And then that's when
even she was like, chick, like, come on, like, let's all get it. Like, she's so like inclusive. Yeah. Like, yeah, let's all get money.
And then he's like, I don't want to do it. And then like
Betty like lurks on him right away. She's like, why?
She's like,
why don't you want to get the test?
What's the big deal? And and that was the moment where I was like, okay, so
he's definitely not.
So really, like, Hal really thought that was his son the entire time, and he was just treating him like shit, real like high key. So anyway. Then it cuts to Veronica and Hermione, and she's just they have like a real mom and
real talk about like convincing your boyfriend to do shit.
Yeah. So she's like, Mom, I can't do this. I can't like treat him like shit.
Like, I'm down to do your beating at school, but I'm not down to do Archie like that way.
Yeah, because that way
it's not good for our relationship.
Exactly. And she says, you're right to protect your relationship with Archie. Like, it's important, but like also know that like we lodge ladies like just like lurk in the shadows.
Yeah.
Like she says, like,
can I say it?
Yeah.
Because it was a really epic line by Hermione. Yeah. The women always walk the razor's edge. The men are the gangsters, but us, the malls. What is it?
The malls. Yeah.
The malls. Like we use our wiles, our cunning, a hand on a elbow, a whisper in an ear to manage things from behind the scenes. Yeah, no,
not quite. But no. Yeah, okay, cool.
I was like, Hermione, calm the F down right now. Like
relax.
Godmother up in here with her epic lines.
Yeah. So basically,
but again, it's showing that like she is like the matriarch. She is
right. Yeah.
She knows how to play this game.
She knows how to play this game. She knows how to work it. And she says like, but I understand why you care. The realist question is, does Hiram know that she's the boss?
Does Hiram know that she's playing this game? Does Hiram know how smart she is? Because if he knows, then they're both equals in that sense. Yeah. But like if she's still kind of like cunning towards him, that's like a whole new story.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, if we want to talk about it real quick, like if you look at Archie and Veronica and how she essentially, their whole relationship is based on lies.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if like it's mirrored because of the way that Hiram and Hermione's relationship is built.
That's
you
a
know
good
what
point.
I mean? So if there are lies and there isn't real truth around like who's the boss and who's this, then I believe it too, for sure. But I guess at the same time, like she's almost saying too, like he's doing this on the front end and the back end, like we're working like clockwork. Like I'm doing all the like back stuff. She's like, I am like Lady Macbeth right now. Like I'm doing like all the bad stuff on the back end while he's like the face of the badness. Anyway, it cuts to Betty and Kev, and she says,
back on the grand.
She's like, I have one more request. I have the way to get him talking about blood. Okay, so then he says, Kevin's like, oh yeah, I went to the clinic today and like I got tested.
Have you ever been tested?
And then he's like, yeah, I got tested. I used to get tested all the time. Good for you, cowboy. Like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And his eyes kept moving up. And, like, even during the scene, I was like, Kevin, stop moving your fucking eyes. Just, like, don't you guys have a script ready or something? And then he's like, oh, who are you talking to? And then Kevin glitches out, and then he, like, hangs up on him.
Yeah.
So then at that point in time, Kevin's like, you know what? He's a really cool guy. You're making me feel like I'm doing bad things. I'm out. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. And Betty's like, but what was she going to get out of that conversation?
Yeah. What did she want?
Was he going to be like, yo, real talk to a full stranger, like, my parents are not my real parents, and like this is not my real thing? Like, I don't know. Like, what was she expecting him to say?
Or like, my blood samples are in my closet under the shoes. Like what? Like what is he gonna say that you're gonna know?
I like this particular lab has my blood samples, so you can check them out.
That's what I thought. What? I'm like, maybe like a clinic or something.
I didn't know where they were. Like,
I'm like, girl, you live with him. Just go get a freaking strand of hair or something.
And that's so she does at some point. So then it cuts to Archie and Jughead, and once again, Jughead now says, like, listen, I went to Pop and I can't do anything about it. I'm really sorry. Yeah. And so, like, cut to, like, Archie's literal last, like, lifeline. he runs to Josie.
Yeah.
And Josie.
He's like, basically, if I can't talk to that McCoy, I'll go to the next McCoy.
He's
like, I'll meet up with Josie.
And so then he talks to her and he says, please, I need this like favor. Does he tell her like the full truth and nothing but the truth?
No, I don't think he tells her everything.
He basically just says like, I don't want him to be
I don't want him to be mayor. Please, if anything, like your mom can say like
just tell the tea,
swoon
like,
him, whatever.
Like, I don't want to be like a mayor's son, whatever. Like I don't know, like what he says.
But I think he says also like, okay, let's not talk about the shady stuff.
Yeah.
Let's like just talk about like the real, and then like he won't want to do it.
Yeah, true. And so then she's like, all right, I'm down to like do it. And then it cuts to
like Sierra and Fred.
Yeah, the Andrews residence. And essentially she's like, yeah, you think that's
like it's not
easy,
glamorous, it's not happy. There's like poverty, there's drugs, there's unemployment.
People
like,
think
so
that you're like
things.
a hero now, but like you're gonna be like everyone's gonna hate you later. And essentially Fred's like, you know what? Thanks for the heads up.
This is my favorite part.
He's like, thanks for the warning, Sierra. But I'm just gonna
he's like, thanks for the heads up, but I think I'm still gonna do it. She's like, oh, I haven't even got to the real talk yet. I'm like, oh, this girl's got so like.
And then she like goes off like the scene ends with like her trailing off, be like, I didn't even start talking about the pension and the wages and like this and this. I'm like, oh god. And then Josie's like, wink, like, I got salary. You.
Yeah.
And so it was, and then Archie's like, yes, he's like gonna feel some type of way about it, I guess. I don't know. And then it cuts to the Cooper res again, and they're playing with the babies downstairs, like Alice and Betty and Polly, and then Chic has to go to work, and he's like, Mom, I need a ride to the work. I need a ride. And she was like, why don't you just take a bus or like walk or whatever? Yeah. But like, why couldn't you guys plan this out a little bit earlier? Like, obviously, like he needed a ride. He knew that he was gonna go to work.
Yeah, right? It was so like
so extra. So
he got so angry.
So he got really pissed off, and then Betty like gives him a look and be like, "Yeah, bitch, walk.
Yeah, like we're playing with the twins now."
And so because Alice says she was like playing with my grandchildren, and
I still can't believe Polly had kids like that. Like when she said that, I was like, "Oh my god, these are her kids."
It's like mind blow.
Like she actually had kids.
Right.
She's actually a single mother.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, essentially. So, so just keep showing like. Chic getting more pissed off and frustrated with this whole situation, and then it cuts to Hiram and at the Pembroke, and Pop comes in, like he just like storms in. He's like, I need to talk to you, and then Hiram is pissed. So in the study, he talks to Hermione and Veronica, and he's like, listen, Pop knows, and that stupid Jughead is trying to run a story or something, and he's like really close. What do we do? And he's like basically like somebody said, because the only people that knew about Pops is like you, me,
it's just us three,
and like
and Archie.
So like who was it? And then Veronica like stands up and is like, I did it. Like Jughead was like grilling me at the lodge, and I just like told him. And she was like, and then Hermione like tries to spin it and basically says like, oh, it's because she was like, she did the right thing, like she threw him like a small bone so he doesn't like dig like
the
for the further the bigger bone.
She sticks up for her daughter,
right? And Hiram's like, okay, fine, bye.
He says another Spanish word right there.
What does he say?
He's like, ojalá you two are right.
Oh.
And I'm like, what? So I googled it, and it says it means hopefully.
Oh.
But I really want them to like finish the sentence in Spanish. I'm trying to learn Spanish here. Like I want to know the full sentence.
Totally down.
And all he said was ojalá. I'm like, okay, but like. You could have just captioned it.
Everything. Yeah.
Just caption it. I'm fine with it. I'm okay. I can read.
Guys, we watch Narcos. Like it's a thing.
Fine.
It's fine. It's not a big deal. So then it cuts to Jughead and FP, and Jughead's like so down. He's like, I'm all out of like options.
Like, I don't know what to do, Dad.
Nobody wants to like help me out here.
He's like outsmarting me. And FP's like, well, yeah, because he's an adult and you're a boy.
You're
so
like a
yeah, he has
boy.
Experience.
Right.
Like he's gonna win.
And so FP's like, you talk to everybody except for the one person, me.
The one person that gave you life.
And he basically says, he gives him like the storyline from first season where he's like, he asked me to trash the drive-in so then it could be going like down to a lower price, and then he could buy it. And then he's like, I'll help you bring him down if you want me to. Like, I'll be on the stand or whatever. And I'm like, but why is this all happening? Every single time I wrote down, like, why is this still happening? And then at that point in time, Jughead gets a phone call. Okay. He gets a phone call and he's like, hey, I have some information. Meet me at the train station.
Yeah.
And then he dips, like Jughead dips. Then it cuts to Veronica and Archie. And He's working out.
Yeah, he looks good.
He's getting his
he look good.
And Veronica
she's
is
pissed. She's like, I'm gonna kill you.
She's like, because my dad will kill you if he finds out that you done all this shit. So she's like, this isn't the Manchurian candidate. Yeah. She like said all these like ridiculous lines
was like,
in that one moment.
He's like, I gotta protect my dad. And then she's like, from what? Like my parents? Like,
right.
Like what?
Like what's the big deal?
They're not gonna kill him.
Yeah. Or are they? Dun. And he's like, you know what? Listen, you didn't tell me everything before.
I love this
like
part.
at your thing.
Yeah.
But you need to tell me everything right now because this is like a situation. You're getting my parents and my dad involved, and I'm like not okay with it anymore.
And he's saying, and this is why I loved Archie too, because he was saying, he goes, when it was your like confirmation, he goes, you insisted that I knew everything before I agreed to any of this.
Right.
You wanted me to know everything.
Right.
So I want you to give my dad the same opportunity to like know everything before he agrees to this. And I was like, Archie, you are smart. You just said the smartest thing ever.
He was being so real this episode.
So real.
Being honest and everything. I was like, damn, like when did you come through? So Veronica basically says like, you're gonna have to talk to my dad about this. It's like, talk to my dad.
Yeah.
And Fred comes in.
So in all of this, there's some secret plan for the South Side, right?
Right.
This is what they want to know. This is what Archie wants to know. The bigger idea of that's gonna happen.
Yes.
So then Fred comes in.
So Fred comes in at that moment and he's like, hey, it's official. I'm running for mayor. And then basically Veronica's like you better move fast, like because this is happening real quick. And then it cuts to sorry, go ahead.
Just quick question for you. Do you think this whole like Fred Hiram drama is gonna be like the end of VARCHIE for this season?
What do you mean the end of?
Will it break them up this season?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. The way the whole episode ends, maybe that's a question that we can talk about at the end of the episode. Okay. But like, I think that there's a lot there. There's definitely a lot there. We can definitely talk about it at the end. So then it cuts to the Cooper residence, and Betty basically digs through Chic's trash, and she finds like a piece of like bloody floss. Is that right? And she like covers it up, and then she walks out. Yeah. And Chic like stops her in the middle of the hallway or like in his bedroom, and he's like, "Wasn't it better with all of us?" Like just me and all Mom. Of us, yeah. And then she's like talking. She's like, "What's wrong with you?" And he starts talking. And he says like, "First you do this, and then they push you out, and then they leave you, and then they're gone forever." And then she's like, "Yo, you're glitching the F out." And then she's
like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah. And then he's like, "Just don't use my bathroom again." And then I wrote down, why does the music have to be so spooky? Like it has to, like it's like literal Stranger Things spooky. It's making you
feel some type of way.
Like I was thinking, like if they muted this entire sequence, I'd be like, poor guy.
Cool. Yeah, like
no,
sad.
I'd probably even feel like bad for him.
Yeah,
because what he's saying is so real and so true. I really think
they're trying to mislead you into this place where like he's this really messed up evil person. But I just think he's like a really scared, like traumatized, broken person who's faking that he's like a Cooper.
I agree. Because he wants to have a family, and it's really a really sad storyline. So anyway, so then it cuts to Jughead and the guy at the train station.
Secret
guy, and does he say? Okay, I didn't rewind this, so I'm not really sure if this is what he says. But does he say, "Are you Deep Throat?" In the beginning?
Okay, I thought I heard the same thing.
Okay,
I was like, they did not just say that. But I didn't rewind it.
I was like,
I heard the same thing.
I can't go back right now because I really want to know what's going on. But is that what they just said? So then it. So
let us know, guys, if that was actually deeper or not,
or if I'm just being disgusting. So then, because I started laughing really hard, and it turns out to be Smithers.
Yes.
Smither, right?
Yeah, Smithers. Yeah.
And
which was the driver in season 1 for Veronica.
/ like the OG like butler in like the comics too. Yeah. Like they literally kicked him off the entire like, story. So
he's like, I am relevant. I am in the comics.
I am still here. So he's like, I need to tell you something. He was like, I used to like be privy to a lot of lodge information, Hiram Lodge information, and I used to like drive around to like Shankshaw prison, and like talk to
people or like get mail from Shangshaw prison.
Yeah.
But then Jughead's like, wait, that's not the prison that Hiram even went to.
Right.
And he's like, exactly.
And then he was like, that's all I got. Bye.
Yeah. He's like, gotta go.
And then he like ran away. So I guess he never like sees him again. But basically he asked like, how's Miss Veronica doing?
Yeah. So he cares about her.
That was the end of that. And then it cuts to like, relax, Smither. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, you gonna come back working and like take care of Veronica?
Adopt Veronica.
Relax.
You're like, yeah.
You're like God.
You're old.
So then it cuts to the Blossom Res, and they're having a dinner by candlelight. Why do all of their scenes look so spooky?
It's in that ivy garden. Yeah, and it's so creepy,
so ugly, and like the red candlelights. I'm like, it looks so cheap. Anyway, so they're sitting there with like their new uncle Claudius,
and like Tony's like at this point trying to be like MVP girlfriend. Like she's like supportive at dinner, talking to like she's trying to talk to Claudius at this point, right?
And Penelope is like, so she says something.
Wow.
And I wrote down, Penelope is such a boop. Like, because
at this point Tony's like, oh, Claudius, like, how did you end up here or whatever? And Penelope's like, ignore that person. Like, she doesn't even say her name. She's like ignore her.
Trollop lady.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. No one is that evil. Nobody. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make any sense why you're so angry for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, you're such a cruel person. Because why? Because you didn't get enough sex in the past like 8 episodes? Like, you obviously did. So what do you need? You don't need that.
She needs the money. Like, she's the D and the money.
What will make you happy, Penelope? Tell us. Tweet us at recap_rewind. Let us know. It's just crazy. So then it cuts to no, it doesn't cut to.
No, and then Claudius starts talking.
Claudius makes a comment, like, he was like, when I was out on the seas and like whatever, I went to this place. It was called Lesbos.
And even like they start laughing.
They start like chuckling, obviously. And they're like, he's like, it's such a sick island or whatever. Yeah. It's so amazing. And obviously he's like, I feel like he's almost like showing that he knows their situation.
Yeah, I feel like he might have said that out on purpose.
Yeah, and he's like, wink,
I feel like
wink.
They're pinning him to be kind of a cool uncle. Because like even at the end with Cheryl's like, what's happening right now? Like, who is this dad? Like my dad, essentially. And then he like winks at her. Like, they might have like a playful like relationship. Who knows?
I mean,
who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows? And then then he's like, I like stay. What Nana's like, I want you to stay.
Yeah,
like you're not leaving.
Please stay.
And
don't leave me with this bitch.
And then Penelope's like, you can stay here, I guess. Yeah. Like there's like a guest suite or whatever, and that's when he winks.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Pop's Dinah and basically Jughead and FP are talking, and he's like, listen, I got this info that
about Shangshaw prison. Do you have anyone on the inside that like knows about Hiram or that we can go see or whatever?
Precisely. So he's like, I think I got
I got boys up in there.
Yeah. Who I forgot his name. There was like a person, like an actual person name. Anyway, they all have weird names. So then it cuts to Betty and Polly. And that's when they have like their very first like girl,
it
like
was
sister
cute.
conversation.
It was such a cute scene.
And
I'm like, I can't believe we've never had this scene before.
Like first convo of all time. And I was just like,
they're like shopping. Is this a shopping scene? They were like strolling on the street.
They're strolling on the street. And they just went shopping to buy like all the stuff for the babies. And like, yeah, it was really cute. And I was like, Polly, you bitch, I can't believe you're not in this story.
I know.
It makes me really upset.
She doesn't fit into it.
I mean, not anymore. But in those moments, I'm like, Betty needs an older sister to like help guide her. You know what I mean? It sucks.
And it's just cute. Like Polly's like, yeah, Chic is like really creepy though.
Yeah.
But, like, he's like our brother, I guess.
And then she was like, don't worry, I got it. Like I got a sample of his blood. And Polly's like, how did you do that?
Yeah,
shit?
Polly's like, you're so smart.
She's like, wink, wink. She's like, oh wow, you're such a detective. And then she was like, what if he's not even our brother? So that's when it kind of comes out that it's like, maybe he's not even our brother, period, statement. Forget like being a blossom.
Yeah.
Like, maybe he's not even a brother.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to
Polly's like, go do your thing, girl, because I'm be gone after this episode. So like, I really don't care.
It's like, I really don't care what's gonna happen. So then it cuts to the inside of the house.
They go into the house,
and she's like, ooh, I can't wait to like, you know, take care of my babies and like show them their new clothes. And she's like, where's the babies?
Yeah, like the baskets are there, but like there's no babies. And Alice is knitting by the fire. Like, so she knits now. She's psycho.
Bonkers, man.
So
she's
psycho.
Bonkers.
And it's like, guys, it's like dark. Like, it's night at this point. Polly's like, where the F are my babies? And Alice is like, oh, they're with their uncle. Like, Chick's like walking them. I'm like, walking them where? It's literally midnight. Like, by the river.
Yeah.
Why, Alice? Like, why didn't you go with them? Like, are you dumb?
Yeah, why didn't she go?
Even Betty was like, Mom, like, why would you do that? She's like, it's your brother. Like, you just met this person though. Like, how do you know?
He's so full fucking
She's so stupid. They're making her sound so dumb.
She's putting a lot of stock into him being like
she's so desperate.
Yeah, exactly. Because she feels so guilty, right? But it's just so extra. So then anyway, so she freaks out for like not even 2 seconds, and then like he walks through the door,
and they're like,
and he's like, "What's the big deal? Like the babies are fine." And then she like glitches out.
The way there's a moment where like Betty looks at Alice though.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she's like, my mom's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her eyes are just like, her eyes like flutter, and I'm like, she knows that her mom is crazy.
And because like not Archie, Alice is like also glitching out. She's like, what's wrong, guys?
Yeah,
Is everything okay? Like, what did I do wrong? I'm like, you
need the FP.
Yeah, you need the FPD. So then it cuts to Shank Shaw.
Right?
It's like the opposite
the movie
of
is Shawshank. Yeah.
And it shows like FP and Jughead talking to his buddy on the inside.
Yeah.
And he's like, ooh, I know stories. Like, so then he basically breaks down the tea, but we don't find out until the end of the episode. Yeah. Then it cuts to Archie and Hiram, and Archie has a real conversation. He's like, what's going on, bitch? Like, what's happening up in here? Like, I don't trust you. What's the big deal? And
then it goes into Archie's whole Dracula like story.
Yeah, he's like, you're like Dracula snatching up things. So then all of his Dracula.
You came from Transylvania and you're like not even bringing your family here. And I'm like, oh my god, why is he talking about this? This is so dumb. Like was there no other like literal character that could have been Hiram Lodge in history? Like you're comparing him to Dracula, a fucking like fictional character. Like just use like Al Capone or like The Godfather, like something relevant.
Like, literally, what does he imply? Is he trying to say that like he doesn't want to bring any more lodge people into the town? Yeah, like what are you trying to say, Archie? Anyway, I'm just joking.
It was just so weird.
It was just really funny. So
and then Hiram's like, "What's that notebook, buddy?
Yeah,
what you writing in there?
What you writing in there?"
And he's like, "Oh, this? I write all my things that I learned from you in here."
He's like, yeah, basically. So you wrote down like every note like possible.
And Hiram's like, oh, really? So all the evidence is in that book? He goes, yeah, basically. He's like, I learned everything from you.
So he assures. So Hiram assures Archie and says, listen, I think we actually like me and Fred will make a really good team. We want to make it like crime free and amazing, has to get better. And like he's like everything will become clear eventually. I promise. Like we're all gonna benefit from it. And he says, I promise you. And Archie's like, I'm gonna hold you to that though. And he's like, but until then, and then he like closes his little notebook and he's like, I'm gonna keep all these notes.
Yeah. And I was like, this is why he's so smart this episode. Yeah. He's writing everything down.
I was like, shit, bro.
You got a cheat book to life.
I was like, damn. I was like, since when? So then it cuts to the Cooper Res, and Polly just like right at the top, she's like, hey mom, I'm leaving.
I'm like, and then Alice is
like we were all gagged the same way.
Don't go to the farm. She's like, no, I'm not going to the farm. I'm going to the West Coast. I'm going to San Fran.
Yeah, she's like,
I'm like, okay,
she's like, I'm going like even farther away. She's like see you in 2 seasons farther away.
Yeah, and
like,
then Alice is like, okay, well, like let me say bye. I'm like, well, obviously, like, why are you even letting her go with your daughter and your grandchildren? It was so dumb
sad and so stupid. Honestly, why is Polly a part of the situation? Like, seriously, why did she even come back? Like, what was the purpose?
Well, for the money.
For the money.
But do we even find out who gets the money? Oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
So she is going to get money.
I mean, she has to prove, like, her blood test, but she's not even waiting. She's like, yo, I'm going to San Fran.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And Chic, like, is like, yeah, go have fun there. It's, like, actually pretty nice over there. And then it cuts to him, like, cutting the picture even more.
So now the picture is down to just Betty and Alice at this point.
Yeah.
And like I'm just like, but like Chic, like you didn't do this. Like this wasn't your doing that Polly left.
Right.
So don't take credit for it by cutting her out. Like,
exactly.
It's not. She's not leaving because of you.
Anyway.
She's leaving because she wants to go to the West Coast.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. She didn't want to say that.
He's like trying to take credit for it and to be like, one more down.
She didn't want to be like, yeah, she didn't want. But like, why don't you want to stay in Riverdale?
I don't know. I can't ask her that question.
You have 2 twins. You're gonna raise a family.
Plus all that money now. Like, where are you going?
You're not making that. You're not gonna be getting that much money. There's literally like 5,000 Blossoms in the town. Like, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense for her to leave. Like, it just really it annoys me.
They can't pay both of them.
When you really when I really think about it though, it just frustrates me because like in a real storyline, if we didn't know that like Polly's character was going to be on like another ABC show or whatever.
True.
Like that's the thing that frustrates me. I feel like she would have been around.
You know
like,
what?
Maybe not every scene, maybe episode, but she would have been around. They
the
literally
idea that Polly still lives in town would have been okay.
Yeah.
You don't show her maybe like 8 episodes, whatever. It doesn't matter. But at least like she still lives there.
Right.
But then I guess you're gonna be like, well, why isn't she in the dinner? Why is she not here? Why is she not here? You're gonna question that too.
But it's stupid. Yeah, like you're literally like, these are the Blossom children. You think that they're gonna like let them just like dip from life? Like I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair for her to just like storyline wise. I don't think it's fair for Polly to just like dip.
It just feels
life.
very cheap,
you know
too.
I mean?
Like get rid of her, send her off.
Right. So I hope it's not for forever. But I really feel like she like really pushed it and said she's like I'm gonna be gone for like a really long time. And maybe she'll come back and she'll come back and she's gonna like get a facial reconstruction because they're gonna recast her.
I think they'll do that.
Like maybe they'll do that.
I was just gonna say that.
And
that's the thing though, like too, like with these secondary characters or third tier characters, they're contractually probably like their contract ends or they're not signed on to do so many episodes, so they're gonna go find other work. Like that's their right to do that. And at this point, you know what's gonna happen to her character.
R.I.P. original Reggie. Like
yeah, exactly. Damn. There you go.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll cut to so this all happens kind of really, really fast.
It cuts back and forth.
Essentially, it turns out that Southside High is going to become a prison. So who releases this right over?
So I think like Veronica and Hermione look stressed. They're like, Dad, like it's coming out. We think they know everything. Da 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 da.
Right.
And then it cuts to Betty and Jughead.
Oh,
and
yes.
Jughead's like, yo, I know what it is. Like, we have to do this right now.
Right.
Betty's like, write the paper. And I'm the whole time, I'm like, Principal Weatherby's not going to let you expose this.
Expose the story.
Like, this happened multiple times, guys.
Yeah.
Like, this is not going to happen.
Yeah.
At this point, just start your own blog. And like, be free with your writing. On the internet.
Yeah, who cares?
And then it cuts back to the lodge condo, I think, and then Hiram's like, okay, we gotta tell Fred then, like call Fred here and like let's just tell him like all together before like Jughead exposes us.
Right. So then
it cuts to Principal Weatherby
and
being
then,
like, no, you can't.
We're not running the story.
Yeah, you can't write.
And
this.
then it cuts to
Fred being there.
Everybody, and then
he says it. He's like, Southside High, we're turning into like a very profitable private prison.
And
did you see this coming?
No, not at all. But
I kind of wanted something bigger, almost like.
But also, I was like, but this is so ridiculous. I can't believe like they're making this storyline for him. I was like, this got really dark. Like this got really dark. It got
very real. I think
really
right.
Real.
Like it's very 1%.
I wrote down like, did he not watch all of the documentaries on Netflix about the prison
that's probably
system?
why they're doing that, right?
It was
to show that.
But like that made him like really bad.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
You mean like hateable? Like
really hateable. Yeah. Like I was like, yo, they just made him the worst character. Yeah. Because he's like, this is good, right? Like,
I mean, look, I don't think it's gonna happen. We're never gonna see a prison in Riverdale. I know, for sure.
It's really
but the idea of it, I know what you mean.
It's really messed up. Like I'm not okay with it. Like it going that far. But I mean, I don't know. All the other fans, I don't know if fans are like, it got too real
because I think I wanted something different. Like we're creating like a morgue or something, or like something dark, and I'm like, a prison? Whoa! Like that just got like really like. Whoa.
Like if it was too close to home, it's like
like it just felt very like a Netflix documentary that I just watched. Like it's very real.
So real. But that, I mean, fair enough. Like if Riverdale wants to get relevant, good for you guys.
And Fred's not down, obviously. He's like, no. I don't want to be a part of this. So I will not agree to this.
He walks away. He's like, I can't do this. But
then when Fred leaves, Archie stays.
Right. He stays. Yeah, he does stay. That was the best decision he ever made.
Why?
Because everybody knows you got to make sure you keep your friends close and you keep your enemies even closer. I think he's just being like, if we're talking about Archie being smart, like that was a smart move.
Oh, true. Okay.
I'm hoping.
Yeah. You're right.
Like he's like just like keeping his ear low, right? Like he just wants to know what's going on, and yeah, even though there's like blood oaths that happen at the end, like I'm sure he's gonna break it. So he essentially stays, and then he's like, no, I want to hear what he has to say, and then. Damn twist. So
it cuts to the whole kind of campaign,
like everybody waking up in the morning and like the news report.
The new mayor is
Hermione friggin' Lodge. And
Mrs. Lodge.
What I wrote down is, why didn't they do this in the first place?
Yeah, like why did you even need Fred?
Why did you need Fred in the first place?
To like get the like poor people on.
But I guess to like Hermione's point in the beginning of the episode, like now that we're talking about it, it's probably just because she was like, we lurk in the shadows.
True.
You know, like we don't really.
So now basically Hermione's mayor.
Or she's running for mayor.
She's running for mayor too.
Like, yeah, and Veronica's like, yes, come through, mom. Yeah, like she's like super excited for her. And at the same moment, Fred gets the buttons mailed to him because it was like an express order.
So I guess that symbolizes that like Fred might still run for mayor.
Right. And are you down for that?
Yeah, I think that's gonna be
of the
hot. I think there's gonna be some sexual tension there, between Fred and Hermione.
So not even just sexual tension.
like right there. No, but I think it's gonna cause. I don't know. We'll see. That's gonna definitely cause some drama between Archie and Veronica too.
So do you think that that's gonna be like their big tearaway?
I think for season 2's finale, you're gonna see them breaking off. Yeah, for sure.
Because of this whole situation.
Yeah.
Like something's gonna go down. Yeah. Someone's gonna betray somebody.
At the end of the day, it's because of their parents. Yes, but it's the way that they're talking to each other in the situation that's gonna break them up. They're both lying to each other.
They're lying to each other.
Like, fine, let your parents do whatever the F they're gonna do, but like you guys are still lying to each other and being sketch. So
is
like,
this even real love anymore?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it's
exactly.
Crazy. So then it cuts to Penelope talking with Claudius, and she's like, first Nana, and then Cheryl, and Claudius is like, don't worry,
we got this.
And then Cheryl's like in the corner, and she was like, oh God, I'm gonna die.
She was like crying. There was a part of me that I kind of wanted him in that moment to be like, I'm actually Clifford. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for him to be like, ha ha ha, like they believe me that I'm Claudius.
Right, exactly.
You know?
Like
to make that more real. Yeah. But because I wasn't down for that twin storyline.
But like, what is he gonna do to Nana? Like, throw her down the stairs? Like, what the fuck? What the hell?
Did they mean that they're gonna get rid of them though? Is that what they were trying to like?
That's what I'm assuming.
I don't know. I feel like it's not gonna be that dark.
I mean, who knows?
Anyways, guys.
Then it cuts to the Cooper Res. Chic and Betty finally have their conversation. Yep. She's like, here are your blood tests.
Basically, Betty confronts Chic at the end of the episode.
Right.
She's like, yo, bitch, I got your DNA samples. What is going on? Who the F are you?
Who the F are you? And he's like,
and he looks scared. Yeah. So it's going to come out that he's not, and he's been lying this whole time.
Yeah, exactly. And final scene, Archie and Hiram, they do a blood oath essentially. And he was like, you are part of us now. They cut both of their hands.
They make it look like it was so easy. I'm like, aren't you guys like in pain right now?
Oh, it hurts. And then they like put the blood on the notebook that like he had all his like notes in, his summer school notes. And then he throws it into the fire.
So that's gone.
And then he's like, now you're with us.
I think Hiram's playing on like his things. Like
now we come first. And Archie's like, okay. Like, I don't know.
Hiram's like, this kid is so eager to belong to something, to fight for something. I'm going to play off of that and manipulate the kid.
Do you think that Archie's going to like run in like that idiot? Or do you think he's playing a bigger, longer game?
I don't know.
Like, are we going to give Archie Andrews that much credit?
I don't know.
And think that that's going to be like the situation.
I don't know.
So, damn, that was the episode.
Damn,
Jenny.
Recap roundups. Best moment.
So my best moment was Alice literally kicking the door down during the will reading and being like, yo, what the F is going on here? How? And like really turning up the show and like being Alice Cooper. Like, I feel like she has
being Alice Cooper.
Yeah, like she's like already kicked the door down like 4 times. Yeah, like really had like 4 major entrances this whole series so far. And I love her every single time.
I think my best moment again too was that whole like estate reading scene, because that was like a really major scene.
Yeah.
But my favorite part was like when the slow motion Cheryl like faints. I'm like, oh, okay, just faint, girl. Cut to commercial. Like, I'm waiting. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's do this. WTF moment.
So my WTF moment was actually that moment when he walks in. Yes. The gag was so real.
Mine was.
I was like, snatched.
I literally like, you know when it's like your WTF when you're like, what the F? Like I literally say the words.
My literal like, weave, like hell? Clifford Blossom weave was snatched in this moment. I was like what
his weave is never gonna return. No, but honestly, guys, like I'm really
apprehensive about the twin storyline. I know.
Really let down because I honestly, anyways, talk about it after.
No, we can't talk about it.
No, I will because they're my LVPs.
Okay.
MVP. My MVP, I had a couple, but I'm gonna go with Betty Cooper.
Okay.
That's my girl. She was on top of this whole chick thing. She stayed through it. She lurked on him. She doesn't give up.
Yeah.
She goes in for the kill and she gets the floss. She gets the DNA. I don't know how she got that fast because like that shit's expensive.
Yeah, and really, but it takes a long time.
she gets him in the end. Like she gets him. So MVP for Betty, who consistently comes through. and comes through in different ways. Whereas like Jughead does come through, but his only come through is like an article. Like that's
and
it.
And he came through and like failed this episode.
But Betty always comes through.
Yeah, it's true. My MVP, twist, Hiram Lodge.
Why?
Because he won at life this episode. I think that he like legit, like he got everything that he wanted. He snatched up more than half of Riverdale.
Well, I don't think he wanted to tell the whole thing about the Southside thing.
He's still successful. I feel like he was successful this episode. I think he really.
But like, is it really Hiram Lodge or is it Hermione too? Like you're crediting just him, right?
I'm crediting. Yeah, I guess I want to say like the Lodge parents.
Yeah,
but like I really think that like both of them together, seeing the way they all unfolded, like literally, like regardless of if Fred was running for mayor, Hermione's now in office. So like he's got it in the bag.
Right? Like the way Hermione plays him too is so easy. Like even when like he was getting mad at Veronica, she's like, "Don't worry, Hiram. Like she did it. Like it's better now." He's like, "True." Like, she twists him like so quickly.
Yeah, it's very easy for him to like switch. Yeah. But I thought he like played it really like he did a good job this episode, at least like in terms of like how much he accomplished.
For sure. Good on you, Hiram.
LVP.
My LVP is gonna go to no characters. It's gonna go to the writers of the Riverdale show.
Ooh, girl.
Yeah, I'm taking it outside. Because I freaking love this show. Yeah. And I think for what it is, for a teen drama, it really like last season was such a strong season. This season has been really good too. It's never been cheese. We've got a couple of cheese episodes this season. This twin storyline, I was like, come on guys. I was so let down. I was like, it is the cheapest, easiest twist to create and do a plot twist and be like, oh, he had a twin the whole time, and it's the same actor. Like, fine, he has a twin, but like change the actor, maybe make him look like that guy, and maybe not. Right. But like they even have to use the same actor. Like it just, guys, it feels so cheap to me. Right. I don't respect it. Like I don't like for these writers who I really think have been doing an amazing job to put this storyline in now. It feels very cheap. It feels very soap opera-ish. Right. And it feels like, you know, this whole time we've been saying that we don't want this to be PLL. It feels like PLL at this point. It really does. And I'm really let down by that.
I mean, it's hard. I think it's one of those things where like the twin storyline can always take you off the rails. I want to give it a chance and see like where they're going to go with it. If it does get really stupid and weird where like it's so convoluted, then I'd be like, okay,
the only thing that I will like it is if Claudius ends up being really good and ends up saving the Blossom family and ends up like creating a fortune again and maybe like pushing Penelope to the side and like protecting Cheryl. That's the only way where I can see this kind of going in the right way. But if he's going to be that same evil, vindictive character that plots evil plans with Penelope Blossom in their house, I'm done. Like I'm over that storyline.
That would be really dumb.
You know what I mean?
In a sense, my LVP is also the writers, because my LVP was Polly. Polly's character coming in and coming out after like season, like basically an entire season of being a MIA. That was my person to be like, yo, why were you even a part of the storyline in the first place? Like, she sucked.
I mean, she had to be part of the storyline, but I also think that her storyline could have gone so far too. So far too, if she didn't get pregnant, or like, I don't know, the pregnant thing just didn't.
I mean, the pregnant thing like made her relevant in the first season, but like that she
no,
was
what made her relevant too was the whole Jason thing, right? Like her involvement still.
Exactly.
Not necessarily like,
but still her like being so relevant last season, and then her like literally dwindling down to 2 episodes is just an unfortunate turn for a character that like is a part of the Cooper like clan. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I totally agree. But at this point, there's no room for her either.
Yeah, it's true.
The best line. My best line is gonna go to Alice Cooper.
Oh my God! Is it the same one?
During the estate reading, when she looks at Penelope and she's like, "Shut your face, you half melted 10-cent chocolate." I was dead.
I was like, so excited to read that line to you. Shut your face, you half melted 10-cent chocolate.
I was like, Alice, you are the best. Your lines are killing me.
Up so hard. I was dying of laughter.
And like Penelope's face is like, oh, true, that is me. Like she didn't even deny it. She's like, true.
Like booked it. So funny. So bonus MVP, we reached out to our Twitter fans and asked who you thought the best MVP or the MVP of this week was, and 50% of you guys voted Jughead Jones.
Aww.
As the MVP.
I love hearing the feedback from our fans or people on Twitter, because I'm like, sometimes they come up with such an opposite perspective to this world, and I love hearing that.
For sure. Somebody wrote, so Postmaster Radio wrote definitely Veronica. taking the heat for Archie and ratting out the info on
true.
the lodge business was quick thinking.
She did take the heat for Archie.
That's true.
Like that was a big thing.
And somebody else said writing an Alice Cooper half melted 10-cent trollop was savage.
Yeah, so savage.
So yeah, that's amazing. Thanks, guys. So that's the episode.
That's it.
And guys, don't forget, we have a PopSocket giveaway. There's some exciting new merch that we're creating. Not merch, but like designs. And we want to share them with you, but we're going to be putting them on these PopSockets that you can win for free as long as you enter this contest. And this is how you enter.
So basically, guys, to enter into the PopSocket giveaway, we want you guys to subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, under this video if you're watching it on YouTube.
Yep.
Comment below and answer this question, okay? What would you name Betty Cooper's black wig?
Yes.
Best answer wins. Get funny, get creative. We want to see like the funniest answers.
And we will announce the winner.
And we're going to announce the winner. And we've already had winners in the past. We had a giveaway last season
for Christmas.
So yeah, guys, participate, join in the conversation. We want to hear your answers.
Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe on the video, guys. Make sure that you review us on iTunes. We're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. Follow us at recap_rewind. Thank you guys so much for listening. We love you.
Bye.